because I think there's a lot of, you know, misconceptions going around with Branded post ROTA. You know, Dominus Impulse is a thing now, which is just another copy of Ash Blossom that does not trigger Triple Tactics Thrust and also gets around Branded Lost because it negates for effect like Ash Blossom. So that presents issues for Branded as a competitively viable deck that can win a tournament if a lot of decks are going to be maining 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Impulse, and then now 3 to 6 Molcharmy, which help you draw into those cards. I think that right now Branded has to branch out and basically, you know, you're gonna have to essentially try different types of builds, you know, of course on the channel and then the members only group chat that I run. You know, I've been pumping out the builds, whether it's, you know, Azamina or pure Branded, and then we featured Branded Synchro on the list on the channel before. I think that there are tons of options for Branded. However, despite that, Branded has gotten one top, basically ROTA dropped. And that happened over the weekend, so that's a good thing, and we'll be reviewing that list. This is also, we also have a list from YCS Japan that we're going to be reviewing that just got top 64. I think the event cut to top 32, so it technically wasn't a top, but he got 60th place out of 4,000 people, so to me, that's a top. Ibrahim Ahmed, how's it going, bro? Can I build a 40 card Branded deck just to learn the deck and then go for 60 card? Yeah, for sure. I actually say 60 card is probably what you want. Is like like once you actually feel comfortable on Branded, I think that's where you go. Because the sky's the limit with 60 card Branded, right? So I think that's where you officially go once you've mastered the deck for the most part, or want to see where, you know, the ceiling of the deck. Hold up, MCOL 40 post a Witchcrafter list. Not right now, GZ1K. But yeah, no. So I think overall Branded players need to, I think a lot of people quit the deck too just because of how things are. There's a lot of really good decks out there. I think our 10-pie matchup is kind of tough with Impulse, Shifter Ash being in the equation. So I think overall we kind of need to start, you know, thinking outside the box, and I think that's where this list from YCS Guayaquil comes into play. I made a thread on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, at MyGamesGX. And I do threads like this sometimes on Branded and YuGiOh, and we're talking about the top 32 Guayaquil, Branded Cashira Synchro list. And essentially this list is extraordinarily interesting, and it's running a synchros, like actual synchros that's summoning, which is pretty cool. So this list is by Alex Pin, so shout out to Alex Pin for getting top 32, and he is running Cashira Branded. He's running 3 Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, 3 Druid Swarm, and then basically a huge Bestial package, like 2 Baldrake, 1 Magnemite, 3 Druid Swarm. Then he's running Albaz the Ashen with 3 Quem, 2 Cartesia. And this is just like crazy seeing the Fenrirs and the Unicorn, because he's also running 3 Raitsoth and then 1 Keshira Theosis. I'm surprised he's not, or he is running 1 Birth, of course. And you're wondering maybe where's the non-engine, and he doesn't have any. I think he's using the Bestials and the Cashiers as non-engine actually in this kind of build. There's no deck profile associated, or else, you know, I'd review it, but it'd probably be in Spanish if I had to guess. So it's a 60 card list, guys, and you guys will see a lot of overlap with that, because I think that 60 card lists right now in Branded are the best. They are the best list, and I think that if you see Branded list topping, they will only be 60 card lists pretty much going forward. I mean, not only, but, you know, I think they will be more often than not. So this list, like I said, it ends up running also 3 Cartesia and then 1 Mercurier. No Tragedy, interestingly enough, but he does run 3 Allure. Running that many Darks in the Bestials, I guess that's fine. 3 Nadir and then 3 Deployment. and then 1 Kashtira Theosis, 1 Branded Fusion, 1 Terraforming, so you can search out the Kashtira field spell. He really wants to see that Kashtira engine set up like Unicorn and go into things. He's not running the Rise Heart, but Rise Heart's really only used for Xyz. And then he's also running 3 High Spirits, which I like, and I build with a bunch of Bestials, and then 3 Opening. 2 Regain, which is crazy to me. It's a lot of bricks. And then 1 Birth, 3 Theosis, and then 1 Blazing Branded King, Shout Yuri Diaz, and then 1 Branded Beast, and 1 Branded Etude, because he's running 3 Synchros in Lulu, Lilith, Despian, Dissipator, and then Cheng Ying. Alright, then in the extra deck, you have 1 Sanctifier, 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Guignol, 1 Quertus, 1 Masquerade for Time, 2 Titanclad. I've never seen 2 Titanclad. That's wild. It's a good card. I just run I think Lulu is like your second Titanclad already. 1 Rinbrum, 2 Albion, no Borreload. Interesting. And no Stapelia. And then 1 Lulu, 1 Dissipator, 1 Cheng Ying. I do like this Synchro package. It's interesting because I think that's... it's been theory that Branded Synchro could be theoretically pretty good this format, but it's like kind of tough. And this guy's not running the Link package. Like, I think running Chaos Angel and SP Lil Knight would go really hard in a build like this if you're already making the Synchros. But I think that's mainly because of Etude. So he's always resolving Branded Fusion on turn 1, and then on his opponent's turn, he's going Etude, which I really like. I think we should probably try that out in our deck because, like, it might give the Bestials a lot better of, like, more use out of it. It's just I'm like, his only tuners are Quem and Cartesia, so he's not even running the Albaz, I would run Bestial Luber over the Albaz the Ashen, personally. I think Albaz the Ashen's pretty terrible. I'd like to know how that was for him. And then in the side deck, 3 Crow, 3 D Barrier, and then 1 more Dissipator to round it out, and then 2 Dark Ruler, 2 Gamma Seal, 3 Dark Ruler, and then 1 Feather Duster, and then 2 MST, because, like, I mean, I would run Cosmics, but I could understand running MST because of the fact that you don't want... Yeah, no, I think a list like this is very cool. We could test a list like this on... Yeah, like Krabs said, I think it would be interesting to test out lists like this on Omega, because I think what this list is trying to do is set up Kashtira, this build isn't even gimmick locking. I would change this build. I would add gimmick lock to this build, but you don't have to. I just think this build's trying to set up Kashtira board plus, Mirror Jade plus Bestial control with, like, Beast and Etude, basically, and Regained, which is kind of cool. It got top 32, so very cool list, and, like, it's a 60 card list, like I mentioned. Then we can go up to this 60th place YCS Osaka, 60th place Branded. I can read what the description of the Duelist tweet is when he tweeted out the Decklist. Shout out to Albert on Twitter. That I was not used to working with paper as I thought I would be, so I guess he's a Master Duel player and he wasn't as used to it. He was extremely nervous, which led to a series of mistakes along the way, so he theoretically probably could have done better. I received guidance from Tanaka Turner, who's, I guess, another pretty good Branded Master Duel player in the OCG. We'll have to check him out one of these days. And this is the list. People were asking him questions. I'm surprised that oh, this guy, I guess, won the tournament. Alright, so this list is very cool. I really like this list because this is very similar to what we've been testing in the TCG personally, in, like, the members only classroom and in our videos. So, like, this list is great. This list is 3 Aluber, it's 60 card once again, and it has grass in it. These are going to be consistent themes with Branded going forward, in my opinion, because if you want to tango in this meta, you need to run power. You really do. You really have to run power in your deck to punch through boards. I think grass equals Branded Fusion plus advantage, so we're gonna just talk about it too. So 3 Aluber, 3 Branded, or 3 Albaz, 3 Shrouded, 1 Cartesia. This is sus. 1 Cartesia. You need more than 1, especially if you're running Fusion deployment. This just automatically becomes a dead card in your deck. If one of your Cartesias are gone, you should be running 2. But, like, it worked out for him, obviously. So, and I've seen 1 Cartesia be a thing in the OCG, so, like, maybe it's just something they like. 1 Quem, I can get more behind that because you are running the Nadir servant, so you can always get back, especially if you mill it off of the grass, if you open up the Nadir. and then you run one Spring's kit and then one Mercury or one Tragedy still, even without. I mean, I really like Tragedy with Grass. Tragedy with Grass is amazing. Very good card, very good card. And then also there's no side deck because this was a best of one event actually, guys, because all the YCSs in Japan are best of one events because of the fact that they're so big. So like if they were best of two, best of three, you would basically go all until 4 a.m. for day one, and that's only one day. So yeah. And then he's running one Maximus because Nadir, like this is another like Nadir 60 card Grass. These are all constants in all these lists. Like the other list in Cashier, he was running Nadir. He was running Nadir in that deck. You need to run Nadir for Fuwalos. Like, it's the best card. It's the best anti-Fuwalos card for Branded because you get to play under Fuwalos. You at most give them like one draw off the Quem, and then you go full combo by sending Albion Titanclad, setting up Albaz, Cartesia, Branded, and Red for Gimmick Lock. So the OCG gets it. It's just I know a lot of Branded players are behind on it in the TCG. And then he's running 3 Saronir, 1 Magnemite. Can we get 3 Saronir in Master Duel? What the hell? And then 1 Keeper. I really love Keeper right now. You guys have seen me tech 1 Keeper in Master Duel a lot recently, even before this. And now I'm actually trying out my most recent TCG build. I think this is really cool because it's a High Spirits bridge. It's also good for Allure, but I think it's a High Spirits bridge, so it's a really good just like overall card. Like Dark Dragon is the best typing in your deck. If all your monsters could be Dark Dragon, this deck would be so much better, right? So it's just, I mean, you would lose to like certain cards, but still. I think this is fine as a 1-of, especially when Branded Fusion's at 1, you have less extenders. I think opening's at 2 in this one. Yeah, exactly. So 1 Fairy Tale Snow, 2 Maxi, 1 Gimmick Puppet. You gotta run the Puppet. And 2 Maxi, I would run 3 Maxi at that point. I just feel like it's kind of like he couldn't find the room for the third one at that point. And then 1 Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow, it's a pile deck, so Fairy Tale Snow is going to be good when you mill it off of Grass. So I can see why. 1 Branded Fusion, 3 High Spirits, 2 Opening, 1 Red, 1 Lost, 1 White, 3 Opening. Like I said, you need to probably run 2 Cartesia at least. 3 Nadir, 2 Grass, because Grass is at 2 in the OCG. Man, I wish we had that. Can't wait. Hopefully we get it. 1 Foolish, 2 Gold Sark, because now they have 2 Gold Sark. Hopefully we get this in the TCG soon. 1 Triple Tack, 3 Thrust, 2 Called By, 3 Droplet, 2 Evenly, 1 Expulsion, 2 Retribution, and 1 Fusion Duplication. So Expulsion is obviously legal in the OCG still. This card is basically Gimmick Puppet Turbo. You can go Branded Fusion, send Gimmick Puppet plus Albaz, make Mirror Jade, send Albion, set Expulsion in end phase. It just makes like really ignorant gimmick locks, and you can target in the Banish with this too, so you can gimmick lock under Shifter with Expulsion. It's really small cash engine is helpful, so piles can play through current or unboards and disruptions. Yeah, exactly. Like the cash cards are very good going second too. Like, so that's why I think this list right here has a lot of potential going second, rather. So because you have the best deals, the cashier cards, and you have the synchros that you could even make going second. But I think the cashier cards are great going second. So yeah, no, this list is very fire. I mean, the extra deck is basically my extra deck. Like, it's literally my extra deck. I think he just runs 2 Mirror Jade and a Sprined instead of, I think, Mud Dragon and then something else, but he does run the Lulu. So yeah, this is a very good list. This is very close to what I'm running the TCG, so I'm glad, like, you know, I'm getting close to, I feel like, where we need to be in the TCG for Branded. Yeah, I kind of spaced out. I completely forgot that Maxi was up 2. I literally just made a video on it. Alright, so we just hit him on the channel. Got it. Taking my notes. New player fell in love with Branded. Your videos have been helpful for locals. Hell yeah, Mesa. Yeah, I'm trying to be more explanative because I know a lot of people like to take notes and just like the thought process for Branded. Now I especially realize that with like going to play Mermail, I'm like, oh, I want to hear these thoughts. So I'm like, now I have like kind of a better idea of what people want to hear, I think. And hopefully that like helps and adds to my videos. So yeah, no, two Branded Retribution is also interesting here. I think this could be like a Branded Sword or another Tragedy. It really could be any of those things. He just chose the second Retribution, which I don't think is a bad idea because if you draw the first one, it sucks a lot of the time. So yeah. Mermail is my favorite deck. I used to play a lot during Dragon Ruler for Mermail and some of the old simulators. Hell yeah, Joe. The Dancing Gyarados. I hate Terra and Tenpai so much. Hell yeah. I agree with that. I think most branded decks can side Fenrir in a bigger Bestial package. Fenrir and Bestials go hard as fuck. What can we say? Yeah, I hope you realize. Yeah, we just went over the deck list. Trigger a Stellar if you play it. Yes, exactly. This can trigger a Stellar too, and they're not playing in here, but like I'm playing it in my list, so very, very good. So yeah, no, I think these are kind of what you should be looking for Brandon. Like I said, like I'm gonna be releasing a combo spreadsheet guide on how to play through Impulse and Ash basically most of the time, like most of the combos that play through Impulse Ash, because that's what you have to be looking at. Like I think the biggest takeaways are Nadir Servant. You should be playing probably 60 cards because that gives you the gas to play through these hand traps. And also your board breaker package right now needs to be adjusted to your meta. So like you see this is more for OCG. Evenly is pretty bad right now in the TCG, but like going forward with Ryzeal and Malice it will be a lot better. However, right now we should be more like Super Poly, or like maybe running more Engine like this build, which is running Bestials and Cashier cards as its board breaking package. And right now I'm running Super Poly over that, so you know, definitely I think Super Poly is pretty good in terms of that. So definitely just be careful with that. You're branded, and just like always play around the Impulse Ash. Like you gotta have options, and like remember your Mulcharmy lines. I have multiple videos on this. Guys, let me know down in the comments and of the YouTube video, you know, and then the chat. I want to know what have you guys been doing to play around Mulcharmy? What have you guys been doing for Branded this format? Have you still on the deck? You quit the deck? I mean, I wouldn't blame you, but also I think that Branded is still one of the better non-fire decks, and at the end of the day will get better with time, especially as Malice and Ryzeal end up filtering out the current decks like Tenpai and Fire King, which Branded currently has a pretty tough time into. With that being said, we'll be seeing you guys later on YouTube, and peace out. All right, we're still here on the YouTube stream. That was just like the outro for the YouTube video. I just wanted to like make a video for the channel. I thought that was pretty decent. I felt like there was probably a couple points I missed, but I wanted to get this out because like there haven't been any topping Branded lists. Are there any other points I didn't really mention for Branded post ROTA that you guys want me to discuss that I could discuss right now and maybe add into the video? The build is all basically setting up to be disrupted, hence the Bryce Blazing Branded King and the banishment to secure the plays when Branded Fusion gets stopped. Okay, so yeah, this does have a lot more to do. It's really bricky. It resets the game when it goes second, and all three engines can resolve. Problem with much caching and Bestials is that some matchups will straight up be unaffected by both. Yeah, exactly. That's like my issue with Bestial Synchro, like Bless, Branded Synchro. That's kind of my issue, is that like the Bestial engines just like fall really flat in the Tenpai and like Fire King matchup, which I think is like a big no-no. And then when you're looking at Malice and like Ryzeal, they're not gonna do anything there. It'll do more against Ryzeal, yes, for sure, but not so much Malice. 2 Retribution is what I like best for one or side deck, but I can't always fit it. I just hate drawing that card, but at the same time, I mainly hate it because, like, I hate not having it in deck sometimes, right? But I don't know. It's not a bad card for grind game, especially with a build with 2 grass. Like, with 2 grass, I think I would definitely run 2 Retribution, probably, too. Mason S in the chat. How's it going, dude? But been running Shaddoll Branded till I can afford the rest of the deck. Hey man, with the new rarity extravaganza, of course, Triple Tactics Thrust is now going to be pennies on the dollar. So I think Bestial Lubellion will be the only thing really expensive left in Branded, to be honest, besides maybe some other things that just might be creeping up. Good luck, Mason. One step at a time. I've been making Branded for years and only played it for the first time in IRL in October. You got this. Bestials and cash cards can flip bad going second, says Baneful. I mean, I kind of agree. Like, my Branded group, my former Branded group chat. I say former because everyone's not on Branded anymore in the group chat, except for like 3 people maybe at best. And that's like including me. They were like, it's just a brick. And I'm like, and I mentioned that in the video when we just reviewed it. I'm like, there's a lot of bricks in here, but also I know that like you have to think outside. I also said you have to think outside the box with Branded to really perform, and that's what he did, and he got rewarded. So I think that's kind of what you gotta do. Even if this is not like this, this is not like the standard Branded build, but it was like a good Branded build for that event, apparently, you know. And this man's not losing to Impulse. You gotta realize that this deck is not losing to Impulse. He gets Impulse, he's like, okay, great, cash cards, synchro, fucking Cartesia, pass, right? curious what the Cash Guys matchups were. I'm curious too, but also I think it was an 8-round YCS for what it's worth. So, you know, it was definitely a smaller one. I think it was like a 400-person YCS. Yeah, I can't imagine this destroys Centurion and Tenpai, but the feeds are dice roll. Fair, though, I think Brand already has a very good Centurion matchup, so I don't think that should ever be a matchup you're really, like, deck building around. If you have Albalanedos, right? Decided maybe considering Mulcharmies or not, right? Hey, hurt. I think we're gonna call it there. It was a really good stream. Very good stream, very good stream. I did want to, like, at least attempt to salvage my sleep schedule a little bit here. But I do appreciate everyone coming through to the stream. Very successful stream as per usual here. Recently, we will be back likely tomorrow for another stream. If not Friday. You know, Thursday or Friday. I'm trying to keep up with daily streams, but I also need to get back to, like, nearly daily uploads. Like, I've been very much slacking. There's been no shorts lately, and that's been, like, very bad for, like, my views. So I'm trying to, I'd like to, because actually half my viewers are short watchers, which is crazy. So just not uploading shorts is just like, oh, my viewers are like, what the hell? Where are my shorts? GG Meadows, rest well. Thank you, bro. Yeah, no thrust, no charmy, props to that crazy top. Oh yeah, no thrust. Wow. I don't think thrust is as needed as people think it is. I've always said that. Alright guys, have a good night. Make sure to leave a like on the stream. Check out the links down below. Subscribe on